Time and Eternity, 11 Locutions to the World from December 21 to 31, 2014. The first locution from Mary on December 21, today vanishing into tomorrow.
Human life takes place within time. One moment opens out into the next in an endless series. No one can stop this process because God has created time. Man, therefore, is helpless. He can record time and assign a date to today, but he cannot stop today from vanishing and giving way to tomorrow. A person who appreciates the passing nature of earth and the short moment of every life can grasp what I am saying. A world which lives by faith understands that no one can hold on to today. No one can build a permanent earthly city. A world without faith is foolish and spends all of its time trying to build permanency upon the shifting sands of time. Satan uses this foolishness to build his cities and gather his armies. He has brought human history to this point where humanity has left behind the light of eternity and has chosen the darkness of time. How many false beliefs flow from this foolishness, as if time heals all wounds, or that problems will be solved in due time, or that time is a cycle in which darkness is always followed by light and problems always have solutions. My message is clear. Time is not an inevitable cycle. Time is a story, with man's free will playing an important role. Time is a road and man has chosen the road of darkness. The light does not come automatically, like day following night. At this present time, humanity is walking a road that is so dark, it will lead to permanent and disastrous changes to Earth. I cannot and will not allow that to happen, but man must stop thinking about the passing goals of time and begin to seek the changeless riches of eternity. To act otherwise is complete and total foolishness. The greatest fools are the rich and the powerful.
The second locution from Mary on December 22, manifesting her presence.
All history is in my hands. I know the movements of every heart and of every event. I see all that has happened and all that will happen. Nothing is determined. Events are shaped by human decisions. This was God's plan from the beginning. I am not a passive spectator who merely watches the drama unfold. I am the woman clothed with the Son who has power to intervene. I am part of human history. I was born into the world and lived in the world as everyone else. My role now is more extensive and, in the Father's plan, I must assume greater and greater responsibilities for the safety and protection of humanity. I have been announcing this plan for years, but now it is taking place right before your eyes. As one event leads to another, as one problem begets greater ones, you can see the importance of my coming on the scene, of making myself known, of lifting up my special Son, and of manifesting my presence all over the world. Right now, I am only interested in you, the reader. I have led you to these locutions and I want to give you extraordinary blessings. Others, who do not know me, will receive later. You will receive now. You do not understand everything, but you want to receive. You have read all of my promises. You have studied my ways. Most important, you believe. Why should I delay? You were prepared to receive. Close your eyes. I am with you. Experience my presence. Do not move. Stay still until the gift is complete. Repeat this often. Each time, I will act more deeply within you.
The third locution from Mary on December 23, the year 2015.
See what springs forth, surprising waters which no one can imagine. These waters are still hidden and can only be explained when they come to light and are seen by all. I do not hold back my words but speak as clearly as possible. 2014 has been a year of turmoil, of the appearance of many evils. However, life has continued on. The struggles are confined to certain areas of the world or to certain parts of society. The protecting walls built by man to assure a normal life have remained in place. There have been no breakthroughs. 2015 will be quite different. Even in the first 6 months of the year, new and different events will break through. However, not to the extent that life is totally disrupted. It will seem like these problems have been adequately responded to so that normal life can continue, even though limited. In the fall, however, the great problems will break forth and all will see that human life has seriously changed. This will be the mood as the year comes to an end. All of these events will serve a purpose. They will awaken the church that it needs my help, and those voices which have been declaring that the messages of Fatima must be studied more closely will be given a greater hearing.
The fourth locution from Mary on December 24, 100 Years of Fatima.
When the waters burst forth, who will tell them where to go? They will have a mind of their own, going where Satan has plotted for so long. They will be released at different times and different places. Such will be the coming year of 2015. I will plot out this year for you. In the early months, new flood waters will break through. There will be human responses that seemingly work for a time, limiting the effects. It is only in the latter months of the year that the great floods come and continue for the first half of 2016. By July 2016, the world will see what has happened. On July 13, 2016 will begin the 100th year of my speaking about the Consecration of Russia. How important will be that year, leading up to the 100th anniversary of my appearing at Fatima in 2017. As these flood waters rise, let the voice of Fatima grow louder in your ears. What other voice should you listen to?
The fifth locution from Mary on December 25, the Spurned gift of Fatima.
As the days and the months stretch forth, the mysteries will be seen by all. In the next few years, leading up to the 100th anniversary of Fatima, all will be revealed. The mysteries of evil buried within human history and human hearts will slowly come to the surface. In the beginning, many will see these events in the old perspective. However, as they continue to surface, the eyes of many will be opened, especially the eyes of the Church and of the Holy Father. It is no coincidence that these events will occur as the anniversary approaches. Should not this 100th anniversary from 1917 to 2017 be a great time of rejoicing, a time when the Fatima gift is poured out in its fullness? That was my plan. This entire century was meant to be 100 years of blessings, all leading up to the anniversary. A blessing that has been rejected becomes an accusation. A gift spurned becomes a great issue. If the Church and the world had only listened, if they had fully welcomed the Fatima gift, there would have been no World War II, no atomic bomb, no arms race, no Cold War. Russia would have been converted. A great period of peace would have begun, and the whole world would know that the 100th anniversary would become a time of the greatest blessings. Now, the anniversary looms on the horizon as an unfulfilled promise, rejected by those who should have had faith. What will I do? What will happen in these next 2.5 years? This is not settled. However, the quicker the Church fully responds to Fatima, and as devotion to the woman clothed with the sun multiplies, the blessings will come. Otherwise, Fatima remains a gift that is still rejected.
The sixth locution from Mary on December 26, new powers flooding forth.
Some powers that shake the existing order have already been released. These prepare the way. They occupy and distract mankind, who then cannot see the greater difficulties which lie ahead. Currently, the world focuses upon the external threats of terrorism and Russia, while totally ignoring the internal problems of morality, abortion, which kills far more than all the terrorists, and spending. 2015 will see not just the continuation and expansion of the 2014 problems, but new powers that break forth. These are more internal to economic systems and a daily life, new leaks and new breakdowns in society, new divisions among people. Governments will be exhausted, unable to adequately respond. The 2014 strains upon their resources will have weakened their ability. All will stretch and stretch until the resources cannot stretch anymore. At that moment comes the breakthrough, the flooding where no one suspected, for who can foresee the path of a flood? What voices will be raised to give light? Who will be able to guide the world on these dark hours? In this very darkness, my light will shine. Do not wait. Time spent in devotion prepares the soil. The effects in coming together in my name are indispensable.
The seventh locution from Mary on December 27, the New Year.
How many events will flow forth this coming year? They will be linked, one to another. Yet, at the same time, they will flow from the free choices of humanity. This is the great mystery. Time opens out. Day follows day. Time gives each person a chance to decide, one decision after another. Some persons, however, hold great power and their decisions affect millions. Also, ideas, such as terrorism, dominate many hearts at once so that thousands act in unison. Systems have been built and nations work within these systems. Human life is complex and each day it depends upon many factors for its very existence. Whole nations can be wiped out and grave crises suddenly arise. This is the picture of life upon earth. Time moves on and the world is subjected to many forces that bring about change. A new year is about to begin. As far as time is concerned, 2014 will flow quite unnoticed into 2015. The early days of the new year will flow as if it were 2014, but not for long. 2015 will be much different. There will not be continuity but a breaking off. There will not be a smooth flow but troubled waters. There will be war in places that are now enjoying peace and instability, in nations that seem to be strong. A shaking will take place, followed by a settling. Then a second shaking that will be more serious. By the end of the year, life will be much different. Even as 2016 opens, the full battle between Satan and the woman will not have been fought.
The eighth locution from Mary on December 28, the blessings of the 100th anniversary.
As the new year begins, the events will happen slowly. Most important, people will not recognize their importance or how these events prepare the way for others. The events will be new and surprising sources of unrest and breakdowns. Even as it becomes evident that this new reality will not pass quickly, people will still not grasp the importance of this year. Only toward the end of the year will the events take place that will seriously change the existing structures. Even in these cases, people will not see clearly. They will believe that the change is temporary and can be rolled back. Only as the year ends will people see the decisiveness of these events. Even here, their full force will not have been released, for there will be the years leading up to the 100th anniversary of Fatima. I continually see these coming years in the light of that anniversary. A while ago, the world focused on 2000 and the new millennium. Human life moved into the new millennium without any serious change. The 100th anniversary of Fatima will be quite different because I will not abandon my children or my church.
The ninth locution from Mary on December 29, opening the Fatima gift.
In the beginning, many will be confused, wondering why many opportunities have been cut off. This is the first stage. Then, they will see that the wounds to society are even deeper and that life itself is endangered. This will be the progression of events in the next few years leading up to the 100 years of Fatima revelations. Mankind need not walk that path. Another is available, a true path to peace, the path of Fatima. All must read the story of the three children, of the appearances and of my requests. There is also the great promise, in the end, my immaculate heart will triumph. It will be late, but Russia will be consecrated. Do not wait. Consecrate yourself and your family. Read. Learn. Live the Fatima message. Fatima is God's gift, the shortcut, the easy way. Fatima is filled with my love and my tenderness. I visited the earth to protect you. I spoke so you might listen. I gave signs so you would believe. I did all of this for you. Please, open my Fatima gift.
The 10th locution from Mary on December 30, a summary of teaching.
I have raised up these locutions, and in these few years, many have seen their value. This was to prepare their hearts and show them that my words will guide them. Filled with this light, they know much about human history. I have clearly taught the following. Human history is a battle for souls and cannot be understood merely by reason. This battle is between light and darkness. The great victory of Jesus took place on the cross. For 2,000 years, Satan has regrouped his forces and has put his plan in place through human beings who cooperate with him. I foresaw that this battle would come to its greatest moments, so I appeared at Fatima to defeat Satan. This defeat has obviously not happened because the responses to my requests were not lived out, causing the world to be plunged into a greater war and in constant conflicts. Mankind is now entering a very dangerous time. The 100th anniversary of Fatima is a signal moment. Keep your eyes on that date. It can still be a moment of great victory. I will continue to speak each day in the coming year. I will not hold back my words. My people need to know the secrets of my heart and its desires. Now, I must take you on a new path, a road of strength and fortitude, a road of firmness and fidelity.
The 11th locution from Mary on December 31. No consecration of Russia in 2015.
The decisions are made. The story of this year is written. The book is closed, only to open quickly. Time does not stop, not for a single moment, like an unending stream. Mankind lives one moment at a time, able to see the past and experience the present, but incapable of seeing what lies ahead in 2015. This year will be filled with wrong roads and terrible decisions, all because man's heart is so separated from God's will. A rude awakening awaits. Severe jolts of great warnings. Who will heed the message? Who will even know the message? That is why I speak. What good are chastisements unless accompanied by a message that shows the way to mercy? The chastisements will come, inflicted by man himself, who holds great destructive powers in his grasp. Some of these will be warning blasts which signal deeper troubles ahead. In the long series of these events, there will always be my clear voice, showing the way. During 2015, my voice will grow much stronger. The urgency of my message will be seen. However, Russia will not be consecrated to my immaculate heart. Even so, as these events occur, a great stirring will begin in the church which will prepare for Russia's consecration in 2016.